you seen that advert for the bio gyms? And it's like quite expensive, and it shakes your thighs and makes you lose 500 calories an hour.
No, where do you get it? Sign me up.
Bought off the internet, and I tried it on, and I literally electrocuted myself. I don't think it's legal. Like, the box doesn't look legit.
That's
and
so
the
right.
instructions aren't fully English. And it's like, oh, it simulates the same thing that shivering stimulates. And
just go in a cold bath.
Just go
out your back door.
I bought a shivering machine. And
some of it is shite.
I don't know what to do, and I don't know how I'm going to like explain it when I die and they find me under the piles of like gadgets that I've bought that I never use.
It'll revolutionise your life. I always say, I'm buying that. It'll revolutionise my life.
It's a shivering machine. I'll burn 500 calories an hour from shivering alone.
What more do you want there?
But yeah, that's the latest thing I bought, Sean.
How did somebody come up with that? Who was sitting shivering thinking, do you know what? I bet you I'm burning a lot of calories right now.
It's a guy from Sweden who is in a video in a hammock, and he's like, hey guys, did you know you burn 500 calories an hour from shivering alone? And I was like, sign me the fuck up.
People in cold countries generally only thin though, are they?
They keep warm.
I suppose they wrap up, don't they?
They're not shivering.
This episode is sponsored by Podcorn. I use Podcorn myself in order to find sponsors for the podcast. Podcorn helps podcasters find sponsorship for the show. I've used it myself and only started recently, found it very easy to use. You can go on there, you can browse different sponsors, see what it is they're looking for, what kind of shows they'd like to partner up with. You can also just put on what you're looking for to help you find a sponsorship partner. You can just kind of send them a quick pitch and they'll get back to you and let you know if they'd like to sponsor your show. You can set your own rates. It's really simple to use and it's really helpful in terms of helping to find sponsors for your show and not taking up a whole lot of your time letting you do the important work of working on the podcast itself. Podcorn connects podcasters to amazing podcast sponsorship opportunities such as host-read ads, interview segments, topical discussions and more. Also with Podcorn, there is no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can just browse opportunities right on the platform. You can collaborate with brands directly and you don't have to use one brand. It's really customizable. Importantly, you never give up your rights to your podcast with Podcorn. You know, all the rights to the podcast remain with you. They're just there to help support you in every step of the way and ensure that you're protected and compensated for your work with these brands. Podcorn simply want to give podcasters transparency and creative freedom and full control over how they monetize their content. So if you'd like to use Podcorn, you can click the link in my show notes to sign up and start browsing sponsorship opportunities today.
The first story, or first kind of poll as we normally do, is to ask what winds you up even though you know it's irrational. Lighthearted, a few things popped into my head today which irrationally annoy me, and I figured I can't be the only one who gets irrationally angry about stuff like this. Those I can think of now are people who say I don't drive when they actually can't drive. You would say you don't perform brain surgery if you can't, so why is it different with driving? People with double-barreled / hyphenated first names, example Peggy Sue. I've never heard that one, but doesn't sound twee, and they just make me think of weird American cults. And people who still have their Christmas trees up. I realise none of these things actually affect me, they just annoy me, but what winds you up? So
She's a cow. She's a cow.
That was butterfly
as
fluff.
somebody called Ashley Jane who can't drive, she's a cow, and I hope she chokes on her fucking post. Oh, Sean. That's what annoys me. That cow.
Is that your name, Ashley Jane?
Yes.
Have we spoke about this before? Because that's my wife's name.
No, but that's even weirder, Sean. I'm Ashley Jane, like a hillbilly. I've got proper trailer park jeans.
Right.
So she's annoyed that somebody says I don't drive when they actually can drive.
Yeah.
Is it the word don't or the word can't? She gets annoyed at the context of the sentence.
She means that she feels they should say that they can't, but they say I don't drive. That insinuates that they could, but
she makes a false equivalency between driving and brain surgery. Like a guy with high-waisted trousers can't teach you to do brain surgery in 3 lessons for a smaller fee. It's simple if I can learn how to drive. I hate her. I hope.
And also she's saying like you wouldn't say I don't do brain surgery when you can't do brain surgery, you would say you can't do it. But the only reason I don't do brain surgery is because I can't do it. I would do it. You know what I mean? So don't make sense for me. I don't do brain surgery. If somebody offered me the chance to do brain surgery, I'd get a fucking go.
Also, if you were in one of these situations like in Grey's Anatomy where you had to do brain surgery and they talked you through it on the phone, you would do brain surgery.
Aye, how hard can it be?
It's just poking a thing.
Just cutting up bits of meat and all that.
You just guess what bit and then you just cut it out, wouldn't you? You just... And sometimes they just stick big needles in it, didn't they? They don't even do the cutting out, they just stick a needle in or a drill.
The guy who invented the lobotomy just went round like schools and went, right, so you take this stick, you take this hammer, done, and then anybody could do it, like dentists could do it.
Aye. I'd rather do fucking brain surgery than go around that fucking roundabout in Dumbarton. Tell you that.
That's so true. I just get annoyed when people say I don't drive, is because with my pals, none of my pals drive, so it usually means I have to drive and then I don't get a swally, so I'm raging. That's why it annoys me.
I don't drive.
You're allowed to. You can have a few though, can't you?
Oh yeah, drive up the road.
You're allowed to have a few, aren't you? Are you not allowed to have any?
No.
Is it like you can't have? What, really? My driving instructor never told me that.
You could have an up and downy, I think, but I don't think you could.
You can't have like if I'm not saying I have, right, but see if I'd had 3 bottles of wine.
Game's a bogey.
I probably shouldn't have.
No.
I don't even think you're allowed an up and downy.
I shouldn't have drove over that bridge to Skye that time when the lockdown was on. After 3 bottles of wine, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have even been out because of the lockdown, should have.
Exactly. You broke 2 rules.
It's no funny drink driving, by the way. I'm only joking about that. Just making that clear.
It's not funny.
Anybody
I'm
for
only
the Sun
joking.
sees this.
Yeah. Magnificent. What annoys you, Sean? Because you get quite angry about stuff. What's
all day?
The irrational? No, we don't. So be quick.
Oh, no, okay, then fine. Everything annoys me. It still annoys me when people don't put things back where they came from. Like my wife and my son do that all the time. They'll just take something out of the cupboard and they'll just leave it lying out. Or they'll just pull the toaster out, put toast in it and leave the toaster just sitting. Or the cupboard's lying open. It just annoys the life out of me. I just wish people would put things back where they came from.
Wait a minute, your toaster doesn't like remain in the spot where it gets used. You'd have to move your toaster to use it. What is that? What do you keep the toaster in a special toaster drawer, Sean? What in the world are you talking about?
The toaster should remain where it gets used, but apparently my wife's arms are not long enough to reach the toaster where it sits, so she has to pull the toaster out towards her. And then she just leaves it sitting there, so it sits just on the edge of the counter instead of sitting back against the wall where it should be. Because she's got short arms.
I thought you meant you had the toaster in like a place for toasters, which surely should just be on your workbench, no?
Aye, it just sits on the kitchen workbench, but she can't reach it where it sits, so she pulls it forward and then just leaves it there. So it doesn't. I don't have a special place for a toaster. It's just where it should go.
You know what annoys me?
What?
It annoys me that no matter how many things they kind of invent, like changing tables and all that kind of stuff, there's still nothing better than sitting on the flare to change your Wayne's nappies, and it just baffles me because we go at like a changing table, baby twins, right at the minute. And we go to a changing table and I fucking never use it. Never use it. We're just always on the flare changing the nappies. And I just think to myself, they must be able to come up with something that actually is better than me getting it up and down after flare every like half an hour. You know what I mean?
Same
it's
in
annoying.
It's
annoying.
That's
never
true.
changed the nappy, so
One way to my house, Ashley. I'll change.
I've got sore knees. If it's going up and down off the floor, never mind. That's why I had to stop being a Catholic. The knees. Sean, do you change you've got baby Aria just now, who you're keeping an eye on while the wife is away.
Yeah.
Do you change the baby on the floor?
Yeah. She's on the floor.
Louise, are you a floor changer?
Yep.
So this is a thing. You should go on Dragon's Den.
This is a total Dragon's Den hang in it.
Low jack table that's got like a pneumatic-y thing in it that takes it from up and down or something. Like
I've often thought, see if you had like a trap door in your house, right? And you could store on a trap door like you would get on a stage or something, right? and it lowers down. You could put the baby on the flare in front of your trapdoor, and so you're still stoning.
Mm-hmm.
You just lower, your body sinks into the ground until you're at kind of waist level with the flare. Then you can change your nappy and then back up again in the lift. Why would they not do that?
I think that's
That'd be better than
£100.
£100 IKEA changing table, wouldn't it?
That's $1 million idea right there. Also, imagine the things you could do at Halloween.
Amazing.
I know.
The frights, the Kiki the Banes.
Or just like, in Eurovision, where there's always like the woman who raises up and her dress gets bigger. Like you could do the reverse of that.
Aye.
I don't know what that would be, but it would look cool. I'm all in for that. A lowering pit in your ground.
Imagine it was just one of the things just we always had. You know what I mean? Like every house has a lowering pit. What do you do with your lowering pit? What do you use it for? You know what I mean? Just if somebody makes, like, imagine if somebody made food, or somebody's eating food that's really smelling, it's really strong smelling, you'd say, you fucking eat that down in the lowering pit. They'd have to sit on the trap down, to go down, they'd have to eat their food down there and all that. You know what I mean?
But it's like when you go to old houses and they're like, oh, that's the priest hole.
Aye, things like that.
Uh-huh. And then, every house back in the old days had a priest hole. And it's like, that's so fucking weird.
What's a
Just call
priest
it
hole?
It's where they had priests. Just call it a cupboard. Stop calling it a priest hole. You're not hiding a priest in it anymore. That's something that annoys me. People in olden days houses who still call it a priest hole. It's a cupboard.
I've never heard of this. This is an education. And I'm a Catholic, a really bad one, obviously.
They had to hide the priest.
Who are you hiding the priest for?
I know.
Who are you hiding the priest for? Were you hiding for the priest?
No, it was you.
Because that makes sense.
You hid your priest because they banned Catholics because they didn't like the beads. I don't know. When they banned Catholics, they hid the priests, and
It's a Rangers thing.
probably
Just something to do with the Rangers.
I don't know. Just for hiding a priest, eh?
I thought that was just, and I thought it was just in Holland.
Hiding a priest? No, because the guy from New Kids in the Block had a priest hole in his house when he did
Did he?
cribs.
All right. Because my wife, we went to Amsterdam, my wife took me to the Church in the Attic Museum. And the first thing, whenever they go in, like, because I'm Catholic, my wife's Protestant, the first thing when you go in is they show you a video about how they outlawed Catholics and stuff like that, and they had to all hide. And I was like, what the fuck have you brought me to? Like, actually, this is the first thing they're showing us. It was actually dead on. Once we went around it was a great wee museum, but at first I was like, what have you brought me to? Like, it's just propaganda about getting rid of all the Catholics.
Are we all Catholics here?
I think we might. Well,
Judging by the size of our heat's eye.
Aye.
I had to go to Tuesday.
Like... Get the Rebs on.
Get the tunes on. But we had a weird priest that would always ask you why. So like you would like sin and he'd be like, why did you do it? So like one time I stole, you remember the ski aff boxes? You would like raise the money. So you would take them home to your house and like build this little paper box and then your loose change and all would go in it. So I was about 9 or something, it was like bulging. And I used to collect like Celtic football stickers and had like that big, so I bumped the ski aff box and bought football stickers. And then Mum was like, you're going down there, you're going to confession. And he was like, well, why did you bump it? And I was like, because I wanted football stickers. Like, I don't know what other answer I can give you. But why did you want football stickers? Like, he would just keep asking why and go round in a circle. And it's like, what is this? Mental that we go to somebody in it to tell them.
Imagine
the most secrets.
box, man.
I know it's pure bad, isn't it?
It's really bad.
It's really
You're
bad.
getting put down the fucking lowering pit for that.
I got
Shall we?
proper battered.
I remember my first confession. It was calling coriander a bitch.
that's what you confessed.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to do. I was like, I called coriander a bitch. I remember the priest Father Brown being like, who? And I was like, coriander. She's getting anger.
Weird upbringing, in it.
Good times.
So did
My
you...
cousin's priest gave you M&Ms whenever you confessed, and I was really jealous that she got sweets for confessing.
Did you get an M&M per sin?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I would have been out of control.
Would have been a fat
I'd been
lane.
murdering guys, knowing that.
It was a false economy of sin. Right, aye, things that annoy you. That's what we're talking about, not scary Catholic memories.
Do you know what annoys me?
What?
Sorry, quickly before you go into sorry corner. It's another thing my wife does. She's going to be raging because I keep saying it's things she does. When she's closer to something, she'll like the other day she was like, "Oh, well, the Wayne's get your guitar there. Oh, she's going to knock that over. Well, she's going to break the telly. Oh, look, she's just knocked that out. She's literally talking through what the Wayne's doing. Is like, I could have broke a telly and she'd have been like, oh, she's broke a telly now. There it is. And just sitting right next to her. And I'm like, what do you want? Why are you not getting up and doing something about it? You're waiting until I get up, but you're right next to her. It does my head in. Like, she'll be sitting next to the door and she'll go, oh, there's a postman at the door. I'm like, oh, what are you telling me for?
I hate people that call ibuprofen brufen at literally.
What is that about?
Honestly, in my whole skin, I literally want to knock the fuck out of them. Wait, if you get any brufen, I'm like, what? Brufen?
Who's calling it that?
For ages, I thought they were two different things.
Was that an old brand name or something, maybe?
Don't know, but it's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never heard somebody say, oh, bro, have you got any brufen? I've never heard anybody in my life call it that. I would be shocked. I'd be shook if it came out of somebody's mouth. I wouldn't be able to let it go. That's horrendous.
It is.
I'm glad I've never heard that until this very moment.
It's a great medicine, though, isn't it?
Oh.
Works for everything. Works for toothache. Helps you with toothache. Helps you with most and kind of inflammation related things, I find.
It's all right.
Ashley Storie Corner.
I don't like people who don't like things, is what I've discovered from asking this question, because there are a lot of middle-aged women who get a bee in their bonnet about, I don't like when people write there instead of there, like 84 comments of just that, Sean. And I don't like people who don't like people who don't, it's spelling. There's worse things in the world than there, and there, or here, and here. I think that's something weird to get hung up upon when there are other things to get hung up upon. Norma has some of the weirdest hung up upons though. She doesn't like the way people's ears move when they chew. That gets on Norma's tits. And I don't really know how you would change that, Norma, because it feels like it's pretty much a connection issue and Barhod in your ears are hiding them. I don't know how you get around that in your household. Sean, how do you feel about people's ears moving?
See if you're like eating something and you notice your ears moving, you just can't stop noticing it. Right now, no.
How would you notice your own ears moving when you were eating?
No, but you can. You
eat in front of the mirror?
No, like you start to feel it. You start to feel like the bones are the moving round, and then once you've noticed it, like you just can't stop noticing that. It's just like annoys you.
Is that not your jaw?
I
love how we're all literally trying it right now.
Like, I never noticed anybody else's ears moving. I only noticed, like, I can feel my own jaw and ear and stuff moving, and that annoys me.
Oh, this is a weird one. Angie says, Angie Poppins, what a good name, Angie. Angie Poppins says, people who don't butter the corners of their toast.
Aye, that is a bit annoying. Do you do that, Louise? You don't butter the whole
literally
thing?
it's like that. And Colin goes, please, you cannot make my toast. Get out right now. I'm like, there's a dinner.
No, you don't want dry bits on the toast. It has to be a lot of butter.
It.
Corner to corner.
You have to get a good full coverage. Otherwise, what's the point?
I'm terrible at buttering toast. I can't say anything. I
What
always
do you
just end up
mean?
with holes in it.
But
I can't
here-
butter a toast. I just end up with holes in the bread or the toast.
What
or
do
whatever.
you use to butter your toast, Sean?
A knife.
Let me revolutionise your life. Use the back of a teaspoon.
The back of a teaspoon.
Back of a teaspoon. You're not going to poke holes in your bread. You're going to get a nice, even spreadage back of a teaspoon.
Now I leave my butter outside. I don't put butter in the fridge. Because see, if it's in the fridge, that's how, because it's quite hard. And then you get like, you've got to give it a wee bit of welly. When there's a wee bit of melt, it'll just shear over. But I don't go on the sides.
A wee hang for the butter that sits out in, but it's so cold now that it's still rock hard all the time because it's freezing.
In your butter dish. Gaynor says something that really annoys her is ordering a baked potato in a cafe. And I feel this. If you order a baked potato in a cafe, but you get a microwave potato, that, sir, is not a baked potato, which is very true. It's not a baked potato, and it should be advertised as a hot potato.
Or a micro totty.
I have never ordered a baked potato anywhere. It's that is like too fucking risky for me. Like, you know how like you can take a lot of risks in life, and some people will, you get people that go clubbing and all that, right? And they'll go and they'll just, somebody will give them something, they'll just take it, right? Just whatever it is, a pill or fucking, squirt liquid LSD into their mouth or whatever, they'll go for it. See, even that behaviour isn't as risky as ordering a baked toddy. And that is the ultimate risk I think you can take, because...
What's the risks?
Well, like, I would say 9 times out of 10 that baked toddy is shite. I'm serious. Think of the baked toddies you've ordered in places. How often do you get even a good one, even like a good one? They're always shite. Unless
you go to like a specialist, we just do baked potatoes and that's just what we do, and we're a baked potato.
You don't get many of them. You used to. I remember years ago you got them. Some people, often they try and start them up, but it's just a fucking too risky business to get in. Punters just don't want to. They don't want to try it. It's.
Have you ever ordered an omelette at a Chinese restaurant?
Why would you?
No, but my pal does.
No, I've always wondered who does that, because I always see it in American food, an omelette.
Kenny Miller, he works as a designer, and he literally goes with us to a Chinese restaurant and gets a mushroom and cheese omelette. And I'm like, that's like Chick Maryland at an Indian. This is jaw dropping.
That's amazing. I cannot believe you know an omelette at a Chinese restaurant person. Yep. Get in touch with us via Twitter at Ashley Storrie. Let me know. Have you ever ordered an omelette at a Chinese restaurant? I'm eager to hear your thoughts on the subject and what it tastes like. Is it special? Joe says people who don't keep left on the stairs.
All right.
That gets on my tits as well. I was raised in a left on the stairs household. And when people don't go left on the stairs, I get fucking raging. Simple. This is just simple common courtesy. And people who stop when they got off an escalator.
Oh, that does drive me mental.
Yeah. I think she's unreasonable in the things that she finds annoying, the original postmaker, because it's like, people with double-barreled names, we can't help that. And people who can't drive, but say don't drive. And it's like,
Yeah.
What about people whose ears move when they chew? That's clearly something. What?
She's unreasonable.
What's the one, right, if you had to pick your one, Louise, your one bugbear, your one thing above all else that gets right in your tits, that if you could eradicate it from the world with like just one thought, like a Twilight Zone episode, you could just think and then nobody would ever do that again, what one thing would it be?
Probably when Colin goes, do you want like a free time day? So he goes, you can have a wee bit of time, so I've got away, right? So he goes, right, go and get a bath and that and wash your hair. Maybe he's trying to tell me something, right? Because I'm a total skank. But go and get a bath, wash your hair, have a bit of you time. And I'm like, right, brilliant. You've did it all, and you come down and the whole of the downstairs is a fucking bomb site. So not only you washed, you've now got to get totally sweaty and pure hinge your house because he's a prick.
Oh, your one wish of eradicating in the world, it's not a universal thing, it's just Colin not being a prick.
That would be brilliant.
Rab, your one thing.
People call me Rob.
Rab.
People call me Rob, that's my answer. If I could get rid of that. I'm serious, by the way. Because I would go... It's like, I remember when I was like younger and you would go down for meetings, you go down to London for a meeting or whatever, and they all just automatically, they're calling you Rob, and you're too you don't want to say them. I don't like really being called that. I've had a Robbie before as well. I have somebody, and you're kind of like, fucking nobody wants to be called Robbie. Many Robbies out there. Apart from Robbie Williams. Robin Williams, I said that. I don't like to call Robin either. But but Rob is a funny one. It's not for me, Rob, and it's good you actually saved me there, because I was struggling. I'm like Rocky Balboa. I kind of love everybody. I don't really get annoyed at anybody, but that annoys me, getting called Rob. Ashley, well done.
Thank you. I'm glad that I helped you there.
You drilled right in
with my stupid mouth hole. I'm glad.
My son was doing his homeschooling today, and it was about Robbie Burns, and he was like saying Robert Burns, and I said Robbie Burns, and he went, "Why do you call him that?" And I was like, "Because that was what it was called." He's like, "Why would they call him Robbie?" I was like, why wouldn't they call him Rabbi? Why wouldn't they call him Robbie Burns? I was like, because he did his head kicked in. Call it about, I'm Robbie Burns.
Sounds good looking, no, didn't he, Robbie Burns?
Why?
Robbie Burns is better looking than Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns looks like he's got some stank about him. Looks like he's a wee bit ripe. Robbie looks
It's hard
clean.
to know what his body was like as well, innit? Because you only ever see his head, didn't you? You see that kind of bust, or you see the kind of profile shot. You think it might be, a proper kind of Tinder type thing there.
Yes,
You know, where it's like,
100%.
it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
Catfish by Rabbi Burns.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if when he was getting his portraits done, he was doing like that thing, when he was doing the old tilt to cover it up.
Aye,
but
old-
then when you pull back and he comes out, he's just like Jabba the Hutt, Rabba the Hutt, sitting there like, we slick it good into this beastie, just like sweating and chafing everywhere. Actually, that's kind of hot. That's my thing. Old man Sean, he just keeps shawning. He's old man Shawnee. He don't know nothing. He just keeps shawning along. Right, it's time for Old Man Sean. This is a segment of the show where we pose Sean with old man language. It's not what we do. It's a segment of the show where Old Man Sean has to decipher youth speak. Each week we pose him with youth speak from different cultural backgrounds, sometimes different eras. Sean, I'm going to tell you right now, this youth speak, because you tend to do better with olden days, is from the 1920s to 40s.
Yes, I'm getting this.
So this is youth speak. I'm going to have to do it in a voice. Sean met a girl. He thought she was an Able Gable, but she was a bit of a cacky wacky. It turned out she was a cancelled stamp. I'm going to do it one more time. Sean met a girl. He thought she was an Able Gable and a bit of a cacky wacky, but it turned out she was a cancelled stamp.
So was it Able Gable?
An Able Gable, a cacky wacky, a cancelled stamp.
Right, so is a khaki wacky just like a crazy person?
No.
Oh, is that a sexual thing? Right. Maybe.
That's my
maybe not.
response to that.
All right, okay. An Able Gable.
Oh, are you an Able Gable?
Is that meant to give me a clue?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got most of them the last 2 weeks as well. I'm raging at this. Right, cancelled stamp.
Cancelled stamp is my favourite one because it makes complete logical sense.
Is it like rhyming slang? Does it mean a tramp?
No, it's not. It's not rhyming slang. It is a descriptive bit of slang. Would anybody like to have a guess while Sean tries to work out Able Gable, cacky wacky, cancelled stamp?
Rab, you go, you'd be good at these things.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Why? Because I was alive in the 1920s.
Exactly.
The cat is a cancelled stamp. Like you wouldn't want to lick her. Is that what it is?
No, but that's great.
It's good.
No, it's a lot more wholesome.
Is it that you wouldn't like send for her? Like, so now, okay. I was thinking like writing away when men are in war.
I think that we could all be described. I'll give you such a good hint, Sean. We could all be described as cancelled stamps.
All of us.
Right now, we're all cancelled stamps.
Catholics.
Not all of us in this Zoom. All of us.
All of
in
us.
the more grand scheme of things, Sean. We're all cancelled stamps right now.
We're all
Past
fed
their
up.
sell-by date? Out of service? Well, that sounds quite sexual. But
No
my
allowed
dad
it.
says
We're
that.
all- no, like
Thank
it.
you. There we go.
Ah,
So
She's
she was not
cancelled.
allowed out.
She doesn't leave the house, so she's a cancelled stamp.
All right, okay.
Oh, right.
So an Able Gable is like she was out now. She's a woman about town.
Kinda. And Able Gable's a slutty lassie, right? Cacky wacky. You think she's cacky wacky.
I think she's so what was the sentence again? He thought that she was
An Able Gable and
An
cacky
Able
wacky,
Gable.
but it turns out she's a cancelled stamp.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, Rab. Do you want to defer to Rab because he looks
Yes.
very confident? Go.
is Khaki Wacky like she's wanting to shag the soldiers?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's mad for the boys.
right, okay. Well,
You met a bird, You thought she was a bit of a gal on town who wanted to shag the soldiers, but it turns out she's just a cancelled stamp and she wants to stay in the house.
How would you confuse the two?
Cancel stamp is good, and I quite like
I
that.
loved cancelled stamp. Mwah. Beautiful bit of slang from the olden days. Sean, I think that
Didn't get it this week.
Rab pretty much helped you a lot there. But old man Shawnee, you just keep shawning, they just keep shawning along. You tried your best, and that's
every week you put less effort into the theme song.
I know, but it sounds weird when I put too much effort into it.
Okay, so long story short, I'm going through HRT and going completely off sex. Loyal, loving, understanding, but highly sexed husband. My good friend of 20 plus years is single and divorced and not interested in a relationship. She knows my current situation. Out of the blue, I know she's been drinking. She has texted and suggested that she could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and satisfy my husband at her own needs, if you know what I mean. I've not replied, and he wouldn't dream of it regardless of my opinion. Am I being unreasonable to take a huge offence, or is she being realistic? How do you move on from this?
Love this. I think this is great.
I like
This
that
isn't
somebody
a joke.
says, are you sure they're not already fucking?
Feels like the type of thing where people are already fucking like, I've got a plan.
What do they look like, all these people?
I'm guessing thumbs.
No, she's not being unreasonable. Of course she's not. It's out of line.
She's just making a helpful suggestion. She's dry and tired and can't be fucked. Literally can't be fucked. Our pal's like, I'm lush. I've got a whap. Your husband is rock hard. I'm a Gable label, an able Gable.
She's an able
You're
Gable.
a cancelled stamp. Let's get cacky wacky. I feel like it's a great plan. I love shit like that. I think I've tried to convince my dad that polygamy was the way forward, and he was having none of it from me. But I think
Don't
it's
share.
great.
I'm a pure weird. I don't share that shit.
I want 3 husbands.
I don't believe that any. I see people that kind of come out quite strong for polygamy and stuff like that. I don't even believe them. I don't believe them. I genuinely just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think humans are conditioned to be able to deal with that kind of stuff. I don't think it's. I just don't.
Have you ever seen?
I don't get it myself.
Have you ever seen Sister Wives?
No, but I've watched that thing on Netflix. The guy that's got 14 husbands.
Well, the thing that sold me on polygamy, right, was so there's this program on TLC called Sister Wives, where he's got 4 wives and he's a fundamentalist Latter-day Saints fella. But one of the wives is quite like a chunky, severe woman who I really identified with, and she likes her office job and she doesn't like fucking him, but she likes the security of having other women to look after her weans and make her dinner for when she gets in. And see when she was like, it's fine. It's just, I go and do my work. I come in, the house is clean. He's satisfied. The weans are happy. Everything's great. And then I just go to my bed and read a book. I was like, I quite like that. That sounds like she's got her life sorted. But I think you'd have to very much be of that mind of, I don't really care. I don't know. I think it's just funny, Sean. I like the idea. I had this idea that I realised was prostitution of like, see people who've got shallow gullets who don't want to suck a dick. If you had like a woman who came round but she just had like a cone in her head and she did it for you but she couldn't make eye contact with your husband, and then because she had a cone, and then I realised that was like prostitution and The Handmaid's Tale melded into one thing, and it was quite a worrying thought, but it was a thought that's in my dream journal.
No, I don't think it's for me. I'll be totally honest with you. Although I do know a lassie that, well, you're going into like people having affairs and like revenge, who's like had revenge on the girl who was sleeping with her man, and she bought crickets for a pet shop and put them through the lassie's door. So when she woke up through the night, there was fucking crickets. I thought that was quite a brilliant plan.
Wow.
Oh, that's evil.
That's like going for it, isn't it?
That's
Aye.
quite that's quite tame. It's crickets. Come on.
But try to get rid of them, like in your house.
Aye.
They could be like in lamp. Oh no.
My friend, let's distance this further. I have a friend of a friend who fucked the other girl's dad.
Right.
Just to, and then like posted pictures from bed with the dad and was like, "You
Really?
fucked my boyfriend, I fucked your dad." She didn't really come out as the champion of this, apart from in my eyes. I was like, "Yes, that's so sweet, well done, zing." But everybody else was like, "That's terrible."
I'm actually sweating. I don't think I'm built for this. Can I just go and buy football stickers?
Only if you do it with not ill-gotten gains that you've stolen from a charity box.
Can I promise?
Sean, you're a married man,
Mhm.
right? If Ashley's pal had turn this round. If you had a male friend who was like, you're not up for shagging, you're very busy with your podcasts and your writing and that,
I'm not that fucking busy.
and looking after your weddings, I'll take care of your missus. How would you feel? Grateful?
No. No. I would not be grateful. I'd not be like, so I get left looking after the weans and you get the fun part of it? No, I don't think so.
I think you're all being quite prudish.
Can the guy no just fucking wait a bit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel that so many of these stories just come down to it's the fucking guy's fault. It's always the fucking guy's fault. These dilemmas. It's the same when you watch all these Louis Theroux things about like swingers and all that. It's always a fucking guy. It's always a guy. It's always a bad guy in there. So she's not being unreasonable, but she needs to get rid of her fucking man. If this dilemma has been created because her man I can't go without sex for fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Can't do it. Can't do it. 2 months without sex. Can't do it.
Do you remember the dogging series where they wore animal masks and the woman had low self-esteem, so she started dogging
Is that how it happened?
so she could feel beautiful?
So good, that show. It was so good.
My favourite bit is when the two big ladies take the guy out to the field and he's like, I don't think I can. I've got tonsillitis. I'm on amoxicillin. It's one of my favourite things that ever happened on TV after The Wrong David. I'm on amoxicillin. Ooh, so good. I just don't think it's that. I don't know. I think that she's drunk, she's being helpful, she's trying to help. But like you say, Rab, there are other options. Have a wank. You can get like whole like fannies.
Huh? And there's full like websites. Like there's websites that have all sorts of videos on them as well. I don't know if you've seen them. And they've got all sorts of videos of all different types of, well, sex. I'm going to just say it. You know what I mean? But it's just one of these ones again, isn't it? You're just like, tell your man to fucking shut up and get a grip.
Did we not do an episode where we try to like tell people how to make their own fleshlight?
Did we? No,
Fresh.
is that where you told me that you were going to get a tin of beans and some Play-Doh?
It's pretty much all you need. Tin of beans, Play-Doh, patch up the edges so you don't cut yourself. Bang. You've got a at-home made pocket vagina. You're welcome. No need to cheat on your wife.
Because my wife is away for 2 days a week and Dulcie thought I would need something else. It's like I can manage 2 days a week, fuck's sake.
But you get these things. Roscoe told me about one that he saw that was like a whole bum.
Aye. Where have I seen that?
Where have you seen that?
No, that's in a
What
TV
room
show
did
or
I
a
see
film or
that in?
something. What's that in? And he keeps it in his wardrobe. Oh.
Is this a dirty
It's
video?
it's what do you call it? I don't know what the TV show's called. It's on BBC. It's American Little Dicky. You know the rapper, the white guy. It's called Hi, I'm Dave or something like that. He did that song with Chris Brown where the two switch bodies.
And then he hits women.
Well, maybe.
I feel as if I'm in a COVID fever dream. You know, listening to
It's a sitcom. It's an American sitcom, and he's got like it's not just a bum. It's a bum, and it's the legs. It's just the bottom half, basically, of a woman's body, and he keeps it in his wardrobe. And he's got a girlfriend, but when she goes to sleep, he takes it out and goes into the bathroom and shags it. and she catches him with it. It's pretty weird.
I feel like you've just made this up.
I swear to
You
God,
want
look it
talk
up.
about something weird in your life, Sean.
I swear to God, look it up. Or you mention weird sex things every week. And the first week that I say, "Oh, I've seen this weird thing on a TV show," you're like, "No, you made that up."
I think you've just lowered the tone, mate. I think Ashley had it up there, and then you just came in and you've just.
I was giving hints and tips.
Me and Louise have got
crafting.
reputations to think about, and now we're in here with this filthy talk, little Dickies, and all that.
That's his name. That's his rapper name, Little Dicky.
He's a shite rapper. Come at me. I don't care. I think I'm going to say, is she being reasonable? Yeah, she's being reasonable. Our pal's probably shagging her husband and they're trying to construct this. Oh, I've got an idea, Helen, that could really help you with your dry fanny and your husband's sex drive. I could shag him. That's something that maybe we could do. And then it turns out they've been fucking for like 14 years and Christina's wains are actually his. And that's why they've all got that big weird head and they can finally come out about it. That's what it feels like is happening. But I was just trying to play devil's advocate. Never mind.
But that is good. That's good presenting. No, I mean, because that's you're making that. You made me and Louise really angry when you said that.
Yep.
Glad I could be the Pierce Morgan of shagging other people's wives.
Your little Dicky should get together with that lassie with the wee gullet.
What a rap duo, Shallow Gullet, Little Dicky.
It's a good name for a podcast.
I'm writing that down. Bagsy it. No backbackers. Shallow Gullet, Little Dicky is my new podcast.
This week's acronym is STTN.
What?
STTN. Is that not what I sent you?
I don't look.
Oh, right, okay.
Something touched the nipple.
No,
Is it nipple?
it's not it.
Saggy tits still nesting.
Is it saggy tit still nesting?
No.
No, because now they do that nesting thing when you. That's what.
Uh-huh. Is it nesting?
That'd be STSN. No, it's not
Oh,
nesting.
saggy tits till nesting then?
Till nesting.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not got
Oh,
tits
so
in
it's
it.
SSTT. Right, okay, STTN. Right, okay.
Is
Is
the
it
S something?
No.
Is it sugar tits?
There's no tits in it.
Sugar tits till noon.
Still trying to nap.
Ooh!
Oh, no, none of those words are in it, but
Oh,
it's to do with, it could be to do with napping.
but none of those words are in it.
The
Sleep.
word naps,
Is the S sleep?
Yes, the first that's sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep through the night.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah,
There it is.
Louise nailed it. Nailed it,
Right.
Louise. And
You
really
said the nap
stopped
thing.
me
You thingied it.
before I said any more about
Sorry.
sugary tits. No, it's for the best. It really offends people. They get quite angry. So congratulations. That's a good one. That'll make people happy because I won't be like, is it nipples? Is it knobs with an N? Is it knobs in it? I have a perpetual contract with the afterworld that if ghosts exist, that I will happily shag a ghost. So it probably end up just shagging it because I have put that out there repeatedly to the spirit world.
It is a thing. I remember a woman on This Morning got an orgasm from a ghost. Did you ever watch that one?
Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston's widow, shagged a ghost. Wasn't Whitney Houston, just a ghost. What?
It's the sound.
Bobby Brown shagged a ghost.
Yeah,
How did you know it wasn't Whitney Houston?
because he said so.
So he checked.
You didn't look that. Oh, it's no her.
Wasn't a person in a sheet, Louise?
Oh, sorry.
It's a spirit. I love that your idea of ghosts is literally Scooby-Doo level. Like, ooh.
They went like that, lifted up her wee sheet, went, oh, it's no Whitney. Turned down. I'm so sorry.
I saw a Chagga ghost and an alien, but not a robot.
What if the ghost was Hitler? Because that wouldn't be good for your career, would it? Shagging a ghost would be good for your career, but shagging Hitler's ghost?
Would I have to know? Would I have to tell? Would I...
Well...
Need to look under his wee bonnet.
Just be like, oh, I thought it was Charlie Chaplin's ghost. Oopsie. My bad.
The tash through yaff.
I don't speak German, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell. I could just think it's a German. That's the thing I never got about Derek Acora, because he didn't have any other language skills. So how did he speak to like foreign ghosts? Fact.
Somehow we always come onto the subject of ghosts.
I really want my own ghost hunting show, Sean. I cannot express how much I want to fill the void that Derek Acora left. I feel like it'd be great.
The ghost shagger?
Like the ghost whisperer, but sexier. That's my idea. BBC Scotland have said no provisionally to Ghost Shagger, but fingers crossed.
When somebody says Derek Acora, it just makes me think of Pecora.
I know we do.
That was how my mind went. You started talking about Derek Acora there, and then I thought of Pecora, and then I thought, God, I bet you Louise can make some really good Pecora in that deep part.
Literally, I've got a recipe. I'll email it to Dab.
That's done. Thank you very much for coming on. Do you want to punt anything before you go?
Oh yeah.
Well, our industries have shut down, so we'll hopefully we'll be filming our show in April, Louise. Hopefully we'll be filming our sitcom in April, where Louise, of course, is my sister in it.
So exciting.
And I think we'll be getting together. I think we're going to try and get some kind of Zoom read of the scripts or something in March.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Early in March, just so you can see them all. So that'll be the Scots coming to BBC Scotland if this pandemic ever ends. I don't know how we're going to film it, because there's like hot tub scenes and fucking MMA matches and...
Well, we just all get tested or something and go in a bubble, but then you won't want to live with me in my deep fire. So.
I mean, what they should do is they should just move us on to like a big place together, wouldn't it? Just move our families in, that'd be great. And if they're going to that hassle, they might as well commission 2 extra series as well at the same time.
Exactly.
But we'll see. So that's what I'm promoting. I'm looking forward to that.
And you've not any podcasts or anything that you're doing just now?
Oh, I do the Wrestling Daft podcast. Sorry, I should promote that as well. Wrestling Daft podcast every week. Me and Grado talk about the wrestling. So if you're a wrestling fan, you should be listening to that. That's Wrestling Daft. Find that in all your podcast providers on the podcasts.
We had Grado on and he told us about how when he used to wank in a towel, his granny used that towel and then he worried that he got her pregnant. And I think about that once a week. And it's one of my favourite things that anybody's ever told me out loud with their mouth. The genuine look of earnestness and fear in his face. And he's like, and I was worried she was pregnant.
That's terrifying.
That's what you'll get for a wrestling podcast. That
Louise, have you got any podcast with you and Colin? Maybe got a relationship podcast?
Yeah, it's called He's a Prick, and you can get it on normally a Friday night when I get to wash my hair. Shouldn't have not joking. No, I don't really have anything at the minute. Obviously, we were meant to go out to Dolls, me and Gail, meant to go out April, May. I don't think that's happened. I think we can pretty much say that. So we're trying to move it and sort all that out. So we'll probably be an announcement this week, but just need to go when it's safe, and we don't want to do it and try and attempt it when it's not safe. We're not really interested in that. We kind of just want to do it right. So promote that, but when it comes, I can't tell you.
Very cool. Is there anything else, Rob? Anything else, Rob?
Nah.
What's the Scots?
Watch the Scots when it comes on.
Is it still on iPlayer?
Nah, I don't think so.
Right, okay.
I get a shout out to the Brooklyn Nets, my favourite basketball team.
Sean, do you want to punt anything?
Just my YouTube channel, my videos on short stuff. You can find on Sean Wilkie on YouTube or at Sit Down Dad on Instagram.
Cool.
Ashley?
You can listen to me every Friday night from 10 p.m. till 1 a.m. on BBC Radio Scotland, or you can listen again on the BBC Sounds app or website. Also tune in to me on Twitch every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday from 10 p.m, though it's really 9 p.m, on twitch.tv/Ashley Storrie.
See, that's how you do it.
Yes.
Smooth criminal.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
That was
thanks
good fun, folks.
Thanks for coming
asking us
on.
Yeah,
No
thanks
problem.
for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. It was
Thank
such
you.
a good laugh. Thank you so much to both of you. And I hope this ends soon and you get to go and film your shows and do your tours and be the stars that you are.
Be nice, innit?
I hope you get to be Abel Gables. And you can stop being cancelled stamps.
Be nice.
What do you
Also, let's make cancelled stamps happen because hashtag that's great.
I think it is happening. I think it's
Right.
happened.
I really
Get
need
it
to
in
go
the
for a
show
shit.
app.
I have to go. Bye-bye.
Right, okay.
Right.
Bye.
See you, folks.
See ya.
Bye.